Hey, it's Max.
It's RJ.
You're listening to Streaming Cassettes on
Wingman of the Year.
I had to mix it up.
It was coming.
Yeah, it was. Normally it's like I just ramble the lines other than it's RJ. Wouldn't that be kind of fucking funny if I was like, oh, it's Max and it's RJ? I'd be like, yo, why you...
It's going to be some weeks that we're going to need a break.
Or should we flip-flop it?
Well, there's going to be weeks we're going to need a time off, and just one of us is just going to pop up, be like, it's Max. It's RJ.
Well, I kind of did that in that blind react to Little Nas X. Yeah, I did. I was like, hey, it's Max. And I was like, wait, no, it's just me because you were busy. So, and I could not position. It was so fucking weird. Anyway, we always ramble, but let's talk about our friend to the left. You discovered this greatness over here, but without further ado, let's do a formal introduction to our boy, Josh Johnson. How you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good. How you doing?
I can't complain, man. I mean, it's Saturday. Just got back from the gym. Got some stuff going on later tonight. Family's watching a fight card, so it's going good. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Yeah, we're doing keeping steady. Yeah, some UFC tonight, right?
There is.
Yes.
RJ's our house UFC guy too. So, is there any big? You're more. I tried more casual, but any big matches? What's going on? Let's break it down.
So. It's hard to keep up with UFC sometimes. It's like every weekend now.
Oh, yeah, literally like every
weekend. Back in the day, it was like, oh my God, there's a fight. Now it's like, hey, did you see that fight? No, totally forgot.
Yeah, right. There's so many now.
There's some big fights coming up, and I'm really excited. Especially somebody who actually does the stuff for fun. Right. So,
yeah, next week they have the 3 big title fights going on, so that'll be cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give a little background to Josh. We were kind of saying in a fun way, he is our first true outside the network personality on. A lot of his clout, to my understanding, is through his TikTok channel, but he does a lot of other things as well. I think you kind of have a little more dabbling in that, RJ.
I do. I mean, he's kind of.
I can't tell if he's frozen or not. Do you still hear us, Josh? Okay, you're there. All right.
Yeah, perfect. You were frozen for a little bit too. You guys are good now.
Yeah, weird. All right, we'll make this work.
Times.
Gotta love it. So what's some background on Josh a little bit, or he can even tell us too. So
I think he should give us a little background on his life and where he grew up and how he got into the TikTok stuff.
So 27 years old, from Richmond, Michigan originally, a little small town, like 5,000 people. I live in New Baltimore, Michigan now with my girlfriend. Basically TikTok, I started a YouTube channel, and originally I'm a huge fan of movies. And so I started reviewing a bunch of movies and all that kind of stuff. But then, the pandemic hit, and I kind of just, there's no new content coming out. So I kind of just stopped doing that for a while. And I originally downloaded TikTok. My girlfriend had it, and she was like, you're going to love it, because I always used to talk crap about it. And then I started posting a little bit on it. And then I stopped for like 4 months or whatever. And then the very first video I did, I was like, well, I love music, so I'm going to do this guess that artist kind of thing. And I think my very first video was a Breaking Benjamin song I did. And it got like 10,000 views and like 1,000 likes. So I was like, oh, maybe I got something here. And ever since then, I post 1 or 2 times a day. And it's got me where I'm at. I'm not saying I'm, super huge, but, I've just been consistent with it, and we're only growing from here. So other than that, I work for a mortgage firm. I love playing basketball, love hanging out with friends. Obviously, we're in a pandemic right now, so the world's a little crazy, but I love playing basketball. It's my favorite sport. Other than that, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How does a mortgage firm work now? Speaking of COVID.
Yeah. So our CEO, I've been there for like maybe 6 months. And they, when our CEO, when COVID hit, he was like, I'm not laying any of my employees off, so he kind of trucked through it. A lot of the employees were working at home. Still, we only have I'm one of the biggest mortgage firms in all of the country. We got about 10,000 employees. And
I think I have a hunch who it is.
Yeah, UWM.
Is it? Oh, is it Quicken or?
So no, it's United Wholesale.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha. I was gonna say, still there? I don't know. I feel like we lost your audio. You still there, Josh?
Than that, I mean, I think in June they're bringing everyone back.
Nice.
So, but yeah, they sanitize everything. I mean, they recommend 6 feet apart, all that kind of stuff. So, and then they're pushing. We have a center on our campus where they're pushing the vaccine out too. So if you want to get the vaccine, you can get it there.
Oh, that's nice.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's great. So you said hoops. So I have to ask, is Pistons fan a safe bet, or is there like somebody out of state?
To be honest, I haven't been. I mean, since the 04 Pistons and when they stopped really making the playoffs in 09,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll always be a Pistons fan for sure. But my team is usually the Mavericks. I've always been a Maverick fan for like the Dirk Nowinskis and the Steve Nashes of the world. So that was always nice in like 2011 when they did throw LeBron James. So
God, you two are gonna be best friends. Jesus,
We're gonna be best friends because we have like the best point guard. So
yes.
dude, he's crazy. I'm like, he reminds me of Nash almost.
Oh, for sure, but a better shooter. Yeah.
Yes.
His range and just what he does with the basketball is insane. And he's like, what, 20 years old, 21?
Yeah. I don't know what it is with the Mavs and like foreign people. Like it works for some reason.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. They got a good coach. Mark Cuban loves his team. So
yeah, it's that too.
He busts in it.
Right. I mean, they have good chemistry now because they had that 11 team, and then they had like a weird, like little, like I think kind of riding out for Dirk's career to end, respectfully. And then like in La La Land, they could have had the whole DeAndre Jordan that fell through, but now like this team now, it's pretty stacked.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're sitting at like the 7th spot, so I think they'll get in the playoffs. If they're healthy, because usually Porzingis, he's always hurt because he's so tall. But I think they could do a second round. I don't think they'll make it to the finals, but definitely second round, maybe third round team.
No, now if the Lakers are healthy, there's no way.
Oh no, not at all.
No, crazy. Although
the only people in the West that can really dethrone the Lakers is maybe the Clippers. That's about it.
Yeah, and the Steph Curry team, just him.
Yeah.
No,
if the Warriors are healthy though, if they had every single person healthy, they're a threat for sure. I felt so bad for Clay when he tore his Achilles. I'm like, dude, he can't take a break.
Because when he's on, he's on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Catch and shoot.
Yes, sir.
I miss my Sonics, man.
Sonics.
It hurts.
Yeah, the Sonics. Yep.
Yeah. So obviously we're like in the Northeast, but for as displayed by my Idaho banner behind RJ, I lived in Northern Idaho for like 5-6 years, and that was like peak like 96-01. It's like Gary Payton, Sean Kemp. It was like peak that team, and I was like, yeah, this is great. And then even when I moved back east, I still followed it when like Ray Allen was on there pre-Celtics.
Yes.
And then of course the whole, they call it the robbing, and they went to OKC, but it's okay. It's all going to work out.
Yeah. Didn't you guys have Kevin Durant for like one season and then he left?
Yep. His rookie year.
The Supersonics were never a thing anymore.
Basically some dude in Oklahoma bought the team from George Schultz, the guy who owns Starbucks. He's like, yeah, I'll keep him here. And then he's like, psych. And then.
Right.
Yeah.
I heard talks they're trying to bring him back though.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping. I got a couple jerseys in the closet, so I'm ready to whip it out. I'll go to like a Celtics or Nets game with them.
So do I, actually. I have a Supersonics Ray Allen jersey.
Oh, fuck yeah. There you go. Yep. I got Gary Payne's the one I got, and then I have a who's the other one? Oh god, maybe Kemp too. But yeah, the Gary Payne ones I usually whip out. But I gotta get a Ray Allen one.
Yeah, for sure. OG 34.
Big facts. Sure. Jesus Shuttleworth, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you know what's the other thing we have to, if we're on basketball, and then we'll obviously get into more of the music stuff. We're just kind of fangirling that we could talk about something that isn't music for once.
Right.
I love it, but it's nice. We do other things. If being in the state of Michigan, you have a lot of historical like memories with college ball. Like you have the Fab Five, you have Tom Izzo at State. Is
For
it
sure.
it's pretty is it pretty heated, the rival? I know obviously there's OSU Michigan, but like it's pretty heated between the Spartans and the Wolverines too, right?
Oh, for sure. It's funny that you say that because at my work, our CEO he won a national championship with Michigan State back in the day.
Oh,
So literally, like, it's so funny. We had a live webinar the other day with him, and he was like talking crap to people who are Ohio State fans and Michigan fans in the audience. Obviously, he was joking around, but it was funny.
oh.
But yeah, we're always butting heads.
Do you have your line in the sand personally? Do you have a preference?
To be honest, I don't really care.
Okay.
I watch it all.
Yeah.
I'm more of a pro guy.
Okay.
College basketball, like when March Madness happens, like I'm always watching for sure. But
Yeah.
I'm not really like hugely invested. Like I still get confused with like the brackets and stuff.
Mhm.
I can never understand it. So, but I love it. I still watch it.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I think it's interesting because where we are, being the Northeast, like there's obviously some bigger schools, but a lot of the colleges are smaller. So to be like in a state like yours, where it's like there's like these powerhouse colleges are like names that people wear all across the country. They're wearing like Michigan hats or MSU. Like here we have Vermont. It's like once every 4 or 5 years they get in the tourney and they lose in the first round, but we're like, yay, it's our little team. Like we feel special, It's like
huge celebration.
Right. That's like our only like level of like sports excitement. And then if you're gonna be, I guess, somewhat bandwagon or like when Syracuse goes off, then we're like, okay, that's like our regional team. But other than that, it's like, you got nothing, or you're cheering for like you got some people around here that have like maybe an uncle, like a cousin in Alabama, so they get excited about like Auburn or something like
right,
or Clemson,
Clemson, for sure.
Yeah, very weird like Clemson clan in Rutland. I don't understand that, but I digress.
I mean, I like them. I just like the color scheme, I think
it
for
sure.
Well, the orange is pretty cool. You don't see that a lot.
Syracuse's orange is pretty cool too.
Yes.
Yeah, no, Q's is good. I've gone to the Carrier Dome a couple times, not so much for college, but I went to high school in New York State, and that's actually where they do like the high school state finals for football is in the Carrier Dome. So yeah, it's like go the Cuse. That's a big thing.
Right.
So,
yeah. My buddy lives in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So I went there. He moved there not too long ago with his wife, and me and my one buddy went there, and my girlfriend, and we actually went to the North Carolina stadium where like Michael Jordan played and everything.
Oh, that's
like,
probably dope.
To go on the court and everything. It was awesome. So it's
Chapel
an experience.
Hill. That's so cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's dive into some stuff more about you. So RJ, I know you got a couple things.
Okay.
So you have somewhat of a following, and you have mentioned that you got recognized in a gas station randomly.
Right.
Does that happen a lot, or is it just like, oh, I do TikTok? Oh,
yeah.
What else?
I mean, no. To be honest, it just caught me off guard. I mean, obviously, like my close friends and all that, they know me, and some people from high school follow me and stuff like that. But that was like the first moment where I was like kind of thrown off guard. And for them to even message me, after the fact, I was just like, whoa, that's crazy, because like I said, I'm not sitting here saying like I'm huge on there because I'm really not. But just crazy that someone follows me and then, out of nowhere, they're like, hey, I think you came into my store the other day. I'm like, what? And it was crazy because I knew exactly, I had a vision in my mind where it was. So I would like message her. I was like, hey, tell me, like, was it this gas station or whatever? She's like, yeah, like, oh my God, I'm such a fan or whatever. So it was just crazy. It kind of warmed my heart a little bit. So.
Oh, of course. It's always like, that's like the pure, I think in its purest form, the bliss of what celebrity is, right? There's obviously a lot of garbage or TMZ, like there's a lot of negatives, but like in pure thing, it's like recognition for your work or your effort, your talent, right? And so on paper, sure, somebody's like, oh, TikTok, I ain't a talent, but no, it is like you're a content creator. You're creating interesting. Actually, if anything, I give a lot of credit to people who do TikTok. We do them. I've been slacking the last couple of weeks, but I had a good 4-month streak. But the thing is that you're right. Like you have a time constraint that have like a punchline that creates something that's really interesting. And there's actually like an knack to that.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So that's dope, dude.
And it's an easy app. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have like no editing skills. But with TikTok, I'm like, oh my God, this is silly. I press this button, I go to this button, boom, I made a video.
They literally give you the tools right in front of you, and it's so simple, yeah. Because that was my thing too with YouTube. Like, I want us, when everything starts opening up in theaters. I mean, I'm pretty sure theaters are open now, but you can watch a movie on HBO now that's coming into theaters. Mm-hmm. But I eventually want to go just do that again. But it's so hard. Like, it takes me forever to upload a YouTube video when I could literally film a TikTok video of me singing or screaming or, whatever kind of video it is, and I can upload it in a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When YouTube, I've got to sit there and edit it and chop it or cut it or whatnot. And then my hashtags or all my research for the video, and then I got to send it out. And then, it's a long process.
Oh, exactly. No, you're totally right on that.
So.
As far as you were talking about, you did a lot more movie stuff. What made you decide that, well, you said probably because of COVID, but what made you decide to open up this whole music end versus you could have pivoted to anything else? Like you said, basketball or other hobbies. What made you decide to say, okay, I'm going to talk about music now?
Well, music is definitely another passion of mine.
Hang on one second, Josh.
And he bought me a Slayer album for my birthday. Raining Blood, I think that's what it's called. And then my mom and her husband now, my dad, he just listening to like the 80s music back in the day. We'd be on a car ride to someone's house and hey, I'll give you a quarter if you can name this artist, you know what I'm saying? So just that, and then I started getting into, heavier music. It's funny, I got a story. So basically how I got into like the heavier scene is when I was younger. I mean, don't get me wrong, Slayer's heavy, obviously. But like to actually developing my own style that I like. I was with my friend at his house and we went to the grocery store with his mom. And we would always go to the magazine sections or whatever. And I think I was like 11, maybe 10. And I picked a Revolver magazine up and it was Corey Taylor from Slipknot. And he had his dreaded mask on. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was like, what the hell is this? Looking through it. And I was just hooked. And then I started going to, I'd go to the flea markets with my parents and I'd get like CDs, but they'd have to be edited because my parents wouldn't let me listen to explicit music. But that's basically where it came from. But so the music, that was just one of my things. And I figured, why not? I like singing. I like being goofy sometimes, that's a misconception is people think that I can't like sing or scream. And I feel like I'm pretty decent at those. But I try to mix, comedy into it as well. And like I said, it just took off. So, but definitely on my page too, I do review some movies. I want to get into that as well. Just, different types of content flowing on the page. So
nice.
That's pretty much it.
Only because we had a weird technical glitch where the first little bit you talking, we didn't hear it. Who bought you the Slayer album? From there, we got everything else. I was just curious.
My biological father did. And,
okay.
Yeah.
So he was kind of a pivotal role into some of that music stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Okay. Just want to let the fans know. I don't know why I did that, but whatever.
Right. It does sometimes.
Goddamn Zoom.
We got to chalk it up to the times. We're getting there, but we got a deal.
Yes.
So
you probably have more technical music questions.
Yeah. So how do you come up with your TikToks? Like, do you look at trends or do you just go, okay, I'm going to do this one? But I have a question about one of them, but I want to see how you like, okay, maybe this would be a good process. TikTok.
To be honest, I don't really know. I mean, I'll see, like, I follow trends like here and there, but mostly it's just, like I said, I just listen to music all the time. And, I mean, right now people always, how people always talk crap about Nickelback and Creed. So those are good videos to make. and I love those bands. So, and I always come up with ways of how people react to those bands. You know, I sing, I scream. So, just little videos like that, you know, it takes 2 seconds to do. And if you guys knew me on like a personal level, like anyone you know or talk to will say like I literally don't shut up. Like I'll be like just sitting there and I'll be like screaming a song or singing a song. So it literally, that's just my personality, you know. But yeah, the creative process is really just whatever comes to mind, to be honest.
That makes sense.
Yeah. To go off the Nickelback thing, like I don't like them, but I'm not gonna be like they're terrible. Like they making money off music for a reason, so they have to be good somewhere.
I think some of it's just like they meme the fact that they need to find a band to shit on like that.
Well, the internet told them to. That's the thing. So
right,
but the funny thing is,
I'm not sitting like I'm not like a huge like their hits and stuff. Like I like for anyone to say that they don't like them, that's insane, you know. But so yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, so yesterday, Falling in Reverse had a virtual concert, and like at the pre-show, Ronnie said something pretty like I was like, yeah, why do people do that? Like he's like, I like everything. I even like Avril Lavigne. Like I'm not going to turn down Girlfriend if it comes on in my car. I'm just going to let it run. Like I don't get like people are like, why do you listen to that kind of music? So stupid. Yeah, like I sometimes get gatekeeping. Sometimes I get like that, but lately I'm just like, if you like it, you like it. Like who cares?
Yeah, I'm my music. I mean, you guys probably too, but my library is just so big. Like I listen to mostly what I revolve around is metal and rock and all that kind of stuff. But I like rap. I grew up on rap too. My sister, she listened to a bunch of Lil Wayne and all that kind of stuff. I listened to the oldies, you know, Frank Sinatra. I listen to, like Avril Lavigne. There's songs in there that are sweet, you know? So it really, I'm not like, oh my God, you're only supposed to like rock. You can't like anything else. You know what I mean? So.
No, I think that's good. I mean, Chris, you're from the land of Slim Shady, so.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be an Eminem fan, right?
Oh, yeah.
NF too.
Oh, is NF from Michigan?
He's from Michigan,
wow.
Yeah.
I know Big Sean is. Yeah.
I seen NF not too long ago, and I liked him. He had a good stage performance, but the only thing that rubbed me the wrong way, and I don't know, maybe it's just me overthinking things, but he claims he's from Michigan or whatever, but when he was on stage, it's like he got on stage, performed, and he wasn't like hyping anyone up. He wasn't like, oh my God, Michigan, I love you. This is where I come from. It was like you guys paid my bill and now I'm leaving. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But
I kind of get that because it's like if that's your hometown, you're gonna go a little different.
He didn't do any of that, and I was like, wow, that's kind of shitty, you know.
He does that, and you know, I love him. I love his music, and he even like talks about that in the song. So it's like, okay, he knows better.
Yeah,
like I don't get that. He does that a lot of shows. You'd be like,
oh, really?
Duh, 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 duh. Peace. Like,
yeah,
like
maybe I don't understand. So, but
yeah, there's certain bands that just do that. Like I know my wife, she's gone to a good amount of concerts. She said like Maroon 5's Notorious for just do their shit and they dip.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. But then you have other bands that like have full on conversations with you. It's yeah. Like I'm trying to think of different ones that come to mind. Like
crazy. Yeah, you could literally have a band that's not even like from our country, and they're like hyping you up or whatever. You know, it's crazy. Like, dude, this band isn't even from my city or from my state, and they're giving me more energy than someone who says they're from here and loves this place, you know?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah, actually, a good example is I'm more electronic by other things, but it was when 5 Seconds of Summer did their joint tour with Chainsmokers. It was in Boston, and 5 Seconds of Summer was just having like tangents of discussion. It was the funniest thing. They're like, yeah, Boston's cool. They got like clams. It's wicked. It was, they're from Australia. It's like, okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're solid. I gotta give them props.
I've noticed that too with bands. Like Mastodon's great band, love them. But like I saw them, they're like, da da da, all right, peace. Like no hype, no anything. And then August Burns Red, I saw like 2 years ago for the first time.
Oh yeah.
Jake had the flu. They're like, man, we got to cut it short, but they still fucking performed and gave a great show. And they all left. They all left, but Matt came down and just hung out with everybody, and he booked it. I'm like it's so crazy that bands can be just like, yeah, we'll play, see ya, and then, oh man, I'm sick, can't really go on, but I'm still gonna have somebody meet you guys.
Yeah, for sure. August Burns Red, by the way, is really good live. They're so good.
Yeah. I unfortunately saw the Christmas show from my couch, but that was still very good. But yeah,
you stand for them.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, I love self-made people, like self-made musicians, like Convictions, AVR, like the guys who just A Day to Remember. I mean, the people that just came from small towns and now just like their 9 to 5 is the band. So
right, yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to respect it.
Yeah,
for sure.
So, did you come up with the metalcore band thing where you go, if you listen to Immediate Affliction, you love Oceans? Like, did you?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, did you come up with that one?
For that, to be honest, I can't really even remember. I mean, I've seen like people like there's like a page I follow. They're like, oh, what this says about you or whatever. So I was like, okay, so how can I incorporate this to my page somehow? And then I was like, all right, well, none of it makes sense. You know, it's literally just me trying to figure out, okay, what would this be funny? Or, you know, how would this make sense in a sense? You know what I'm saying? So it's funny because like some people will get offended. It's like, it's not supposed to be taken seriously. It's just a joke, you know? But no, I wouldn't say I did come up with it.
Do you get it from like thinking about like the band and what their trends are and stuff? Like obviously, Immediate Affliction for some reason speaks of oceans all the time, and
right.
August Burns Red, you know, Amish kind of from Lancaster. But do you just think of it like, okay, Day to Remember? You probably got bullied in school,
right? No, yeah, you really hit the head on the nail right there. Or the nail on the head, but yeah. So like, I don't know. It'd be like, I don't know. Like I said, you take like Amity Affliction for instance. I feel like they're always talking about oceans. So I was like thinking in my head, like, okay, like, you know, oceans, and then that's where it would come from. So it's really just like I could take like a line from a song, you know, or like a revolving theme that this band talks about in their music, you know, and then I would just apply that to the part of the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I have props to those kind of people that come up with that stuff. Because I'll listen to somebody be like, yeah, I don't notice anything.
Right. Yeah, it's hard though, man, because I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'll sit there with a notebook and I'll be like, okay, this video is gonna have 5 different bands on it. And I'll have to like do actual research and I'll be like, okay, what do they get made fun of or something like that? You know, what do people say about them? You know, what's their songs about? Stuff like that. So it takes some time. Like when I do a video like that, it'll take some good research to get some content on there.
The Disney one threw me for a loop. Like, oh, Miss May, you must love the Lion King. I'm like,
okay. So if you didn't get that one, I don't know if people got that one, but basically like every Miss May album, their album covers are lions. Yes. So that's why, you know, and then like Moss the Flame. Funny. So I was like, okay, insects or Bug's Life. You know what I'm saying? That's where it just comes from. Yeah. So just little stuff like that. Like it doesn't even have to be like involving the music. So
I think Max should do one for EDM artists. That would be funny.
Oh, like different relate like Disney or anything.
Like how he was saying about, you know, Immediate Affliction talks about the oceans, which is probably just a theme about depression and stuff, but
yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm trying to think of like something on the fly here.
Like Chainsmokers. Where are they?
I know one. If you like Zed, you're in the Clocks. And the reason I say this, he talks about this in interviews. If you listen like middle, like a lot of his top hits, there's a fucking Clock sample.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there you go. That'd be like one.
Yeah,
that's exactly. The fucking Clock guy. Yeah,
the Clock guy.
And then Chainsmokers. Oh god, I don't know. It'd be like if you wanted to be like in a punk rock band but only have a keyboard. That's Shane spoken. Listen, I love them, but when they did the memories do not open, it went a little too much. Like, okay, are you trying to be Blink with like drops? Like, okay.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, those videos are pretty. I want to like start incorporating like different topics. Like I started doing like horror movie characters about that, like what your favorite horror movie character says about you. But I'm gonna start doing like maybe like superheroes, stuff like that. Like, oh, what your favorite superhero? So I'm just gonna, or what's your favorite movie? Just different avenues. So because those videos are pretty popular.
That'd be a lot of fun. I did see the horror one, and I kind of felt bad because you said Michael Myers, and Michael Myers is my favorite. And I'm like, damn, I did kind of tease my sister a little bit too much.
Right now, like people, they'll be like, oh shit, he's right, you know. But like in reality, it's like it's just a joke. Like that's just how the movie is, you know. So, but yeah, the one that I forget, I checked it the other day, like the one emo one. It was like what your favorite emo band says about you, or pop punk. The one with the Simple Plan, it's got like almost 800,000 views. And it's like, what? It's still, people are still commenting on it to this day. I'm like, oh my gosh. So,
wow. Simple
crazy.
Plan.
Simple Plan brings it back, man.
Yeah, they're killer live too.
Because we lost it.
Another Canadian.
Yeah, we were talking about how I feel like Canadians and the British music scenes really bring in, like, they perfect the art. Like,
100%.
Bands that go hard, but I feel like Canadians and like Brits do it better.
Well, think about it. I mean, just go over. I mean, look, the metal scene. One of the biggest British bands is Bring Me the Horizon. You know, look at back in the 80s or the 60s and 70s, Led Zeppelin. You know, It's just crazy. I don't understand what's coming. You know, the Rolling Stones. I don't understand what's going on. But whatever they're doing, give us some. You know?
Right?
Yeah. And I'll be listening to a band like, oh yeah, Ask Alexandria. They're British.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Well,
you would never know until they start talking. You're like, what the hell?
That was a big thing with The Walking Dead for a while. Like, because they had The Walking Dead for a while and they're like, oh yeah, it's getting pretty big. Let's have a talking show after the show.
Oh yeah, The Talking Dead.
80% of them are from England. It's like, what?
Right? I think it's just so crazy too how they can just switch their accent. Like Rick, he doesn't even sound British.
No.
You know?
No.
Crazy.
Yeah, but we can't do it to save our fucking lives. Like, oh, sport the tea.
Go some tea there, love.
I know. It's
or even the guy in your shirt, Christian Bale, like he's from Wales.
Oh yeah, literally.
His accent's like crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. Blows my mind. A lot of practice for sure.
Definitely, yeah. Another TikTok that I liked was the 10 albums if you're on Desert Island, I think, or Rest of Your Life, I think it was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How long did it take you to be like, okay, I want these 10 albums with me?
So basically, that was I seen that someone was doing that trend. I forget who it was, but I was like, all right, I'll just do that. And those 10 albums are basically like the 10 albums that shaped my childhood. Like I said, grew up young age, whatever. My dad kind of molded my mind with all that. So I started getting into like the System of a Downs of the world, the Mudvaynes, Slipknot. Slipknot, in my opinion, will always be I'll always go back to Slipknot. They'll be the person who paved the way for me. So basically everyone on that list was, I mean, there was a couple more that I could have added, but those 10 albums were probably the ones that paved the way for me.
Yeah, I was trying to think about some too. I don't know if you have any, Max, that you can be like, what's like 10 albums or like an album? I can be like, yeah, I could bring that with me anywhere.
Like no skips or something you listen to forever.
I mean, my no skip album, my favorite album is London Calling by The Clash, but a no skip would probably be With Roots by The Devil's Wear Prada.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a great album.
Every song on the album is great.
And the thing is too, is like when you have one of those favorite albums, like you know exactly how the next song is going to lead into the next song. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like, yeah, like I could be listening to a Slipknot album. I literally know how the beginning, they're going to lead into each other, you know? It's just crazy. So that's when you know that your album that you love is the album that is, you know, hits home.
I know I'm trying to think of some that I would like. Probably Ready to Die, Notorious B.I.G. That's one. I also liked I don't know what I do. College Dropout. Either College Dropout or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Kanye. Those are good. Gosh, I'm trying to think of like any electronic ones just to mix it up. Probably True by Avicii. That's a pretty solid one. There's a lot of that's obviously like yeah, R.I.P. Obviously like Wake Me Up's on there, but Hey Brother. Actually, Hey Brother has an interesting local connection to us. The singer was Dan Tomiski. He's like a folk singer, but he's from like the town we're in, and he's saying that song the same, for Avicii. So that's
right.
Good. I'm trying to think of any other ones that would come to mind.
It's a hard one.
Oh, geez, yeah, it's rough. I mean, actually, what's one album? Probably Take Care by Drake. That's a good one.
Oh, 100%.
Take Care is good, and Nothing Was the Same. Those two albums. Oh my god, so good.
Take Care was my favorite Drake album of all time.
Easy. Yeah.
100%.
Nothing Was the Same is a very close second, but I feel like the impact of Take Care, especially when you look at how, and it's sad that they kind of have a weird like on again, off again friendship, but like how him and The Weeknd were really close at that era.
Yeah,
it's just so impactful for what the decade was in music with that time. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Quick question: does Skrillex still make music?
He does. It's not as big, but he's kind of been more either he does like collaborations with people or he'll do like little one-offs. But yeah, I mean, I know he was going hard with all that dubstep stuff for a while, and then obviously Jack U.
Right.
You mean Sony?
What do you mean Sony?
That's his name.
Yeah, that is his name. So I don't know what's his most recent thing. I mean, obviously Jack U is the last big thing I remember from him, but I know he's dabbled around a little bit.
Okay.
So.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I think as far as like new EDM that I like from a newer artist, I've really been vibing with either Medusa's really interesting because like kind of a cool darker vibe to it. Like Lose Control is a couple different songs, and then I kind of like more house stuff. There's Joel Corey's another interesting one. So yeah, there you go. The more you know, for people in case you're wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
I mean,
I was always wondering because I feel like Skrillex was the dude who put that scene on the map, like everyone, I feel like everyone listens to that type of music now, So I was just wondering, he's like the pioneer or one of them, him and like Bass Nectar, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, it's really interesting when you look electronic because like obviously in the 90s you had like one-off, like one-hit wonders and stuff. And then like Tiesto's been around for forever, but I feel like you didn't really push any boundaries. And then like the first thing I kind of dabbled into is like when you had like, the whole like Black Eyed Peas The End album, and they had a lot of David Guetta samples, and then David Guetta kind of started things. And then from there, like you said, Skrillex was like the next wave. And then the next wave after that was a lot of like Swedish House Mafia, and then Zed, and then Martin Garrix came in. And then at that point, it just, like you said, blew up. But you're right, like Skrillex was one of the first ones where, actually, you know what I would say? Because a lot of back in the early 2010s, like David Guetta was almost like doing these electro pop, like or electro rap stuff to almost like soften the taste for Americans to handle like actual EDM house tracks. And then Skrillex was almost the first one, I think, where people are like, okay, I'm gonna fuck with a producer instead of needing to like have it like, microwaved, like Hot Pocket delivered to me with like an Akon or Flow Rider on it. It's like, okay, I'm actually listening to the artist. And then 2013 is where like that, I feel like peak electronic was, where it's like, okay, festivals and Swedish House, and you actually were looking up the actual artist, and then that's where we are today. So,
right, yeah,
historian here.
No,
it's a lot different now too with like the internet and all that kind of stuff. So you can just, it's right there at your fingertips.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I do want to switch gears to movies, but I have to ask this question because we're talking about bands. Bring Me the Horizon, Day to Remember, Architects. Why are people freaking out when bands change sounds? What's your opinion on that?
I don't really know. I mean, you get those people that are like hardcore, like I am not listening to this shit ever again, Me personally, I don't mind it. You know, like A Day to Remember, when their new album first came out, I listened to it, and then I just didn't listen to it again, and then I listened to it again to, you know, try. You know, I feel like people are so.
Streaming Cassettes here. Josh will hopefully be back in just a minute. We just hit like a weird freeze frame, but we appreciate you listening as well. Hopefully once we get Josh in, we'll
Artist that I like. Yeah, that's
there. You are. Yeah, sorry. Fro. So what were you saying about Day to Remember? We apologize.
okay. Me personally, like I said, is once I started listening to the new album, I started liking it a little bit more. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to turn that album on. Like, if you were to be like, what Day to Remember album are you gonna listen to for the rest of your life?
Homesick.
That would be the last album I listen to. You know, that's just my personal opinion. You know, but nowadays we live in a day and age, and like I said, this is also what I think, where, you know, you get the newer generation growing up with that album, and they don't know older stuff. So now you're a gatekeeper, but you got to think, like, I grew up with that stuff, you know? So like, it's like a lose-lose situation, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on a couple forums, and it's just so much hate. Like, half the time I'm like, oh, I love San Paterno. Like, that's one of my favorite albums. But if I put that on there, like, I'm gonna get shit on for no reason.
Oh yeah.
But
the thing, keep going. Sorry.
But the thing is like, a lot of these bands do it for a reason. Like Danny from AA, like, he had voice problems, so he had to go to just a rock sound.
Well, same thing with Ali Sykes.
Yeah, like, he was like, I want to do this forever, and he kind of got that like weird singing, yelling range that he found. And same with M Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold. Like, after Waking the Fallen, he broke a blood vessel, so he had to stop screaming like that.
Yeah, I totally understand. I get that. But the thing is too, is like, I feel like you can never, like, your opinion is always wrong. I feel like, you know, you can never, so say like your Welcome comes out and everyone likes it, and say I post a video about Your Welcome on my TikTok or whatever, and it's not what I like per se. Now I'm labeled as a gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my opinion. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't get that. So
I don't either. And like, looking back, it's like, people do like change. Like
yeah,
I'm sure like they remember it's not going out to party every weekend like they used to. You know, now it's just like, we have kids, we have a house. It's different now. Sure, we do like our core music, but we want to dabble in some other stuff. And, you know, they're probably in the 40s now, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. I mean,
yeah,
it depends on the feedback they get from this album. If everyone hated it, the next album, they're probably going to change their style up a little bit. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, Devils Are Prada too. Like, they went post-hardcore. And I bet it's from Mike's voice. Mike's voice got pretty bad. And now they're like, oh, Zombie 2 here. It's like, yeah. They probably got a lot of hate for that.
Yeah, I mean, seeing them live, I mean, he goes hard.
Yeah,
he goes so hard on stage. So I can only imagine.
Any opinion on that, Max? Because
okay, so
that's more in like a rock scene thing, but I'm sure there's like rappers who have done that.
So you're saying if somebody changes their sound, do you still appreciate the artist? Or
almost like we just said, like, Bring Me the Horizon gets so much hate because, you know, they were deathcore and now they're just like kind of middle ground rock.
Speaking of, I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually got canceled for a long time about that. I don't know if you guys seen that video or whatnot, but when I got called out hard not too long ago. So I had a video about that. It wasn't really, so it was the way the video got twisted. You know, that's not so basically what it was it was a video about their new Bring Me the Horizon's new album. At the time it was Ammo, and it was, the video played out like
I was, or someone, I don't know if it was me or whatever, I forget, but it was me being like, oh, this new album, she's like, oh, this album's so good. And then like you turn on like, oh, hold on, I'm sorry. It'll be like, oh, like I'm such a huge Bring Me the Horizon fan, blah, blah, blah. And then I turned on old Bring Me the Horizon, and then the person who was listening to it, they were like, oh my God, this is terrible, turn it off, you know? And then it was like, oh, I thought you were a big Bring Me the Horizon fan, you know? It doesn't, like, you should still know the old stuff. You should still appreciate it, whether you don't like it or not. Well, it got spun because what happened is I put in the part that the person who didn't know the video, I put girl. So automatically I got labeled as a misogynistic. I was sexist. I was everything. And that was never my intention, you know? So literally it was weird. I posted that. And then like my girlfriend went and checked the video like 30 minutes later, and it had like 100,000 views already. And she's like, you're getting roasted. I'm like, what? So I went and checked it, and I was like, everyone started going ham. Like some of these big creators were like commenting on it and stuff. I was like, whoa, this was never the intention, you know? But something like that, like, you know, you can't even have an opinion. I never once said you can't listen to this type of music, you know. Never once did I say that. But people like want it to fit their agenda. You know what I'm saying? So like people would stitch the video, but they would only stitch the certain part that would fit their narrative. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, so like people were like, delete it. And then I turned the comments off, and then people would comment on other videos saying, oh, you know, I blew up on Twitter. You know, it was just crazy. It was so hectic. So I deleted the video, and then everyone said, delete the video. And then I got shit for deleting the video, you know? And then they're like, oh yeah, delete the video, but don't delete it. Why'd you turn your comments off? So it was a lose-lose situation. But yeah, that's completely gone now. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. That was pretty nuts.
That's be crazy.
Wow.
That type of
Oh, it was nuts. Yeah. I mean, I didn't really care. It wasn't like oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. I mean, yeah, it sucked for a little bit, but it is what it is. People are gonna say what they want. So if you knew me on a personal level, I'm not like that whatsoever. Like I said, I listen to so much music, you know. So
that's rough.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was pretty crazy. But
I mean, I get shit because I say San Paternal is their best album.
Oh yeah, are you serious? How do you like that album? Oh, you can't have an opinion.
I'd be like, it's the best Ollie was writing wise, and I just leave it at that.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
They're like, no, it's not. All the heavy stuff. I'm like,
you got some hot take. You got some shit for your hot take on Blink in our first episode.
Yeah, I did. That was
Josh knows that. Basically, RJ's hot take is,
well, Mark Hoppus sang a lot of the hits.
Right.
And my argument is Tom sang a lot of the whiny stuff. No offense to him. He sang a lot of the whiny stuff for the fans.
Okay.
But after he left, I was like, Travis got to do a lot of stuff with them. Like his drumming got a lot better.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because Mark just gives him a lot of space. It's like, here's the chord progression. Do what you think. Do your thing. And then, when Matt came in, of course, the first album was terrible. We all can agree. California wasn't great.
It had its songs, but
yeah, it did. It had some nostalgic stuff, but like you can only go so far.
Yep.
And then 9 came out. I fell in love with it, but Tom's not there, and we got this banger called No Heart to Speak Of, which is like, I don't think Tom could have ever sang that song. But
great song.
Yeah, it's an amazing song. I mean, I don't think they're better, but like a lot of things seem better without him. And it's not like to shit on him. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Right.
And he had some bangers, like Stay Together for the Kids is a great song.
Fantastic.
My thing is like, I think just Mark is the guy and Tom's not, and people got mad. I'm like, well,
the thing is too, is that's your opinion.
Exactly.
So, what? Everyone's supposed to agree with everybody. You can literally have a debate with, it doesn't matter if it's politics or music or whatnot. You can have a debate and still be friends with someone or still respect somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the good thing is, like, why I think things are going to get better, COVID and like people wise, shows like this.
Yeah.
Where I could be like, Saboteur's the best. And you can be like, I don't know, I love was it Ammo? Ammo was the other one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be like, oh, I love Ammo. Okay, let's discuss it.
Right, exactly. So it just might not be your cup of tea. I mean, it's just life.
Exactly.
I think people, in my opinion, I think people are just way too soft nowadays, and it just makes me. I just got really thick skin. I feel like so. I don't know.
It's crazy. I don't know if I have a hot take. I mean, I have to have a hot take somewhere.
You gotta have one.
You have to have one, at least one.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like, oh, that's their best album. Like, that's even a hot take for people.
I know. I'm trying to think. May I have to come back to it. I'll find one. I'm just like, I was trying to say like DJ Khaled's a meme, but that's not really a hot take. So that's like, yeah. Like,
I mean, he is.
No, he is. I mean, the amount of ghost producing, it's ridiculous with him. But
you can even go with Pitbull. Like, Pitbull was better before he got mainstream.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Oh God, I mean, I don't think T-Pain gets enough love. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but
he can sing.
Yeah, he can fucking sing. He's the person that pretty much drove in the entire sound from like 06 to fucking 2010. That whole era was basically, he carried it.
I mean, he's basically the reason autotune's a thing.
Right. And he was getting shit on in the middle of it, and now everyone does it. It's sorry that one guy did it. You know, Cher did it once. He thought that was dope. Then he dabbled on it. And then, you know, you had rapper turned singer, and then like all that album and everything. And yeah, I think he's highly, if you look back in the scope of popular music, he's fucking highly underrated. So
I mean, me and my girlfriend watched, I don't know if you've heard about it, that show called The Masked Singer.
Yes.
He won The Masked Singer, you know?
He killed it.
Yeah, and he was a monster. He killed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how, I mean, maybe the hot take is to say how highly underrated he is. That maybe, but yeah. No. So
he was one of the forefathers for autotune, and literally you can't go on the radio without hearing autotune.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
No, and honestly, if you look at like any melodic rap now, like you can date it back to him basically. Like granted, like there's different types. Like Drake's melodic rap is more of a singing type. Like like Roddy Ricch. A lot of Roddy Ricch's stuff sounds like elements of like what T-Pain did. Or like 24K Golden, that whole vibe. That sound a lot like T-Pain. Or God, I'm just trying to think of some different ones. Like Lil Yachty even dabbled in it. It's just you can like linear back to it. It's just crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Max, but I'm ready to switch gears to movies.
Okay.
But
get it.
Just to start off, I do want to talk about American Psycho because it's 21 years since released.
Crazy.
Do you have a favorite movie?
I don't. I listen. It's like the music thing. I watch so many movies. It's like before COVID, I was literally in the movie theaters like all the time. You know, Tuesday nights, $5 movies or whatever. You know, the big movie premieres. My dad, I don't know who it was, but when he was at some company, I forget what it was, but they would bootleg movies on these VHS tapes. And so he'd come home with like, you know, a stack of movies. And then obviously you got like, you know, Blockbuster or Family Video, you know, RIP. But yeah, I don't really have, I mean, I love horror movies. Obviously I have a full leg sleeve of horror movies, but literally any type of movie I'm down to watch.
If you don't have a favorite, what's like one that you just, if you had to choose one movie to watch over and over again, what's that movie?
Oh, that's so hard. Oh my.
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of watching movies twice.
Oh, really?
Right.
Yeah, there's a hot take. I usually I watch it once, I'm good. Like I remember it. Like okay, cool. Next thing. I don't know. I'm weird like that.
Right. I'm not gonna roast you for it, but now I'm gonna actually go cancel you on the internet. He doesn't.
Go right ahead.
He doesn't watch movies more than once. Like
my wife hates me. She's like, let's watch like Christmas movie. I'm like, I like Home Alone. You get the kid's lost, the fucking pizza comes, and we shoot in the eye. The guy gets torched. Like okay, like.
Home Alone's classic.
I know, but like, how many fucking we get it? Like, okay.
Yeah. Or A Christmas Story. Let's watch it for 25 hours on the Hallmark Channel.
Thank you.
No.
Fucking Christ. I feel bad. My wife loves that movie, but it's like, no.
It's a good movie.
It's good.
But I'm not gonna watch it over and over and over and over and over and over.
It's good, but I think Home Alone should be that one that they put on for long.
Okay, if we're checking between those two, yes, I agree. Home Alone slaps harder than Christmas Story. Yes, I agree.
I mean, that's a hard talk about opinions. That's a hard movie to watch now. And you're like, could that even pass these days? Holy crap. I'm gonna kill you, little kid. Like, I don't think that would pass these days.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff nowadays that was made back then that wouldn't pass if it came out in this era.
Space Jam.
I
know it's stupid.
Yeah.
I watched Space Jam, it was on HBO. I watched them like I love these jokes, but I don't know if it would pass.
Yeah, literally. It's crazy. I feel like just society is just so soft now, That's just me though. So
yeah, so I would say the movie I would watch.
Yes, back to more serious stuff.
The movie I've watched over and over is Good Will Hunting.
Great film.
I love it.
Great.
Like if I have a bad week, that's my movie. I put that on.
For sure. I mean, Robin Williams, phenomenal.
Yes.
Even the little bit Ben Affleck's in that movie. He does great, Yeah, that's a great movie. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what one I would pick. Maybe Shawshank Redemption. That's a great film.
Great, yes.
Long, but really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Dark Knight. That's a great one.
Yeah,
that's a film. Like people say it's a superhero movie. I'm like, no, there's so much more.
No, just Nolan, what he did with those films. Like it feels like that's happening in real life. You know what I mean? It's not like, a comic book movie, it feels like if I were to go to New York City, Batman is walking around, and there's these criminals, he just made it feel like that. That trilogy is so good.
Yeah. I mean, that's something I can rewatch. Actually, a lot of his movies I can rewatch. Like Inception's like up there for me because like, I don't know, mind-bending movies that he does personally, like just, they hit me. And I don't know if it's because he has emotion in them, but
right.
Yeah, Inception's good.
Yeah, Tenet was pretty good too. I don't know if you guys seen that.
I need to. I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I have to watch it another time to like actually understand it, but it's pretty good.
Pattinson's in it, so I'm interested because I think that guy can act like better than anyone.
And I don't know what his name is, but Denzel Washington's kid's in it too.
Yeah, he's very good too.
Mm-hmm.
Kidding aside, there is some movies I watch more than once, but I would say I love comedy, but like The Hangover is timeless.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like that's one.
They should have not made the third movie, but
no, the second is doable. The third one was definitely not justice to the trilogy.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it gets to a point. It's just cash grab. The first one made so much money, so let's make a sequel. Well, the sequel made a lot of money. Let's pump out a third one.
That's a good question. Has there ever been there's obviously sequels that are either do justice or could be better than the original. Is there any third movie in a trilogy that actually works?
Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Return of the King.
Yeah.
That's it that I can think of.
Yeah, literally. That's a hard one. I got to think about that.
But hard question.
Those are the ones.
The Nolan trilogy was. I mean, the last film was good, but it could have been better. I'd still say that trilogy was good.
Which one was that?
The Dark Knight.
Oh yeah.
So Batman Begins, Dark Knight.
That was very consistent. The Wick movies aren't too bad. for 3.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's another one. Yeah, that trilogy is great. And that's the thing is
John Wick, yeah.
Yeah, when you get to like the third movie, even the sequel, you get that it's called usually like sequelitis, like a movie does so good, they're like, we got to pump a sequel out, and it's never as good. It's really rare you get those sequels that are, if not as good as the original, or if not better,
Yeah, because we haven't had an action trilogy that's been like decent. Like Taken was terrible. The first one was great, but like 2 and 3
We
was
should
just
have
like
stopped after the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good original movie. Stop. But
But it made a lot of money, so we got to make another movie, So
exactly.
Liam Neeson and everyone who's on the film is going to make $10 million, So
I don't know if it's a hot take, but there's too many fucking Fast and Furious movies. I
stopped after Tokyo Drift, so.
Okay, I don't feel bad. I have a buddy who like watches all of them. Like I think after the 5th one, I'm like, okay, like it was like one of those things where like, okay, I'll get to it, right? Like not like I'm yippee-ki-yay about it, but I'll get to it, which is like I think the one that Paul Walker obviously passed and stuff. And I have yet to watch since. 'Cause I'm like, God, they're super long. It went from like a movie about like street racing and actually have some real story to being like this glorified like Sharknado bullshit. And it's like John's. You know what I mean? It's like the Pendables, or what's that one? Like
Expendables.
Expendables.
The Pendables, take that because they're all fucking old. But it's like that with like fucking Sharknado. It's just like what other than them driving cars with guns on? I'm like, what is the point? Like, at least from the trailer,
Exactly.
like
they have another one coming out.
You know what the point is? You know what the point is? I am Groot.
Yeah.
Vin Diesel plays Groot, which is the greatest thing ever.
Yes, agreed.
Here's a take on Fast and Furious. I started watching them at number 5.
Okay.
Because
that's weird.
I couldn't get into the street racing thing. And then when 5 hit, I'm like, I just watched a 2-hour movie with flying cars. Okay, that was cool.
Right.
And 6 came and 7, like, I'm still watching these. But my brain is just like, boop, gone.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think you need those movies sometimes. Like, all right, brain, go to sleep. I'm just going to watch people shoot cars and somehow get into a plane midair. And
I guess I can get it. It's just like one of those things where I'm like, all right, it just makes me think, all right, if you're going to see those, you're literally grabbing your big tub of popcorn and your big glug of like cherry Coke, and you're just sitting there and just like, oh, okay, boom, boom. Like that's the only purpose.
Yeah, it's like it's boom, boom, boom.
And I'm not even
family.
I'll be honest, I'm not even like a huge, and when I say I'm not a huge movie critic, it's more like you guys, I feel like there's a little bit like you're actually paying into the storyline. For me, it's like, okay, are they remembering their lines? Is there like sense to hear they don't cut the story too soon, right? If like I'm kind of a joke, like basic bitch, like all right, that's like I'm entertained. That makes sense, Like I'm trying to think of an example, like maybe like Patriots Day and Mark Wahlberg. Good, I'm fine. I'm sure you can drill down some stuff that was like a little too over the top, or like Mark Wahlberg's, I'm going to save the day. It's like, okay, Mark Wahlberg did not save the Boston Marathon bombing the whole way.
Mark Wahlberg is a peacock. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Peacock.
He's a peacock.
Okay, drive into that fucking shit.
I get shit on because I love the other guys.
Really?
I love that fucking movie.
Yeah, that movie's good.
I died the first time I watched it. And my fiance hates it. I'm like, I'm still dying like 20 times later. Like, I love that fucking movie.
I mean, Daddy's Home's good too. Actually, I think the second one's actually not bad. The Christmas version.
Those aren't bad, no.
Yeah.
But I think when you have 2 different personalities, it works.
Yeah, for sure. They kind of balance each other out.
Yeah. I mean, but the other guys are so quotable. Like, how could you not?
Exactly.
But speaking of quotable movies, let's talk the cult classic American Psycho. 21 years.
Crazy.
I think yesterday or the day before, I'm like, 21 years? But funny thing about this movie, and I don't know if you think the same way, it has like great reviews, but for some reason, like you say American Psycho, they're like, oh yeah, Psycho. Like, no. American Psycho with Christian Bale. They're like, what's that? But then you talk to like your friends, they're like, oh, I fucking love that movie. It's great.
Right.
Like, you feel like there's 20 people that know that movie, but literally like millions of people have seen. Like Max probably hasn't seen it. And you go, you haven't seen that movie?
Which
Really?
one?
American Psycho with Christian Bale.
I'm not gonna try to BS it. I don't think I have.
Yeah, like it's so
No.
crazy. Like so many people have seen it, but not a lot of people have seen it.
I've seen American Gangster, but I know it's a way
See?
different
Yeah,
concept.
Good
That's
movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Yes, fucking love it.
Yes, for sure.
So, yeah.
But no, why do you think that movie is like so like cultish almost?
I don't know, to be honest. I really couldn't even tell you. But yeah, you definitely are right with because even like I'll talk about it to this day, like when someone wants to talk like horror movies or whatever, and like I'll bring that up and they're like, oh, I've never even heard of it. Because they always shoot to Psycho. You know, they're like, oh, what's American Psycho? You know what I'm saying? So I don't really even know, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's like it's quotable, but like in a bad way. Like it's interesting. I think how would you describe it for Max? Somebody who's going in blind.
Oh man, I don't know. Just like an obsessive compulsive, like to the max disorder. I feel like something like that.
With murder.
Yeah, with murder. Yeah, exactly.
And Jared Leto. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Is it okay? And I don't mean to do any disservice to the movie because I'm sure it's a lot better. It seems like it's barking up at least similar in the personality trait of the tree of like Nightcrawler.
Oh, that movie's so good.
Is that kind of what you're talking about? Like the way Jake Gyllenhaal acts?
Me with the fantastic movies right now.
Nightcrawler is quite good, but yeah,
it's so good.
Such a good movie.
Is that kind of? Are you talking about that like sort of personality trait?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Sure.
I need to fucking watch that then.
I'd say a little bit more brutal than Nightcrawler, but
Okay, that
definitely
makes sense.
the same personality type for sure.
And like
okay,
the
that's
first
dope.
time you watched American Psycho, like, why am I laughing at this? I should not be
Yeah,
laughing.
exactly.
Like the I don't want to ruin it for you, but the lines are like, all right, it's disgusting, but I'm laughing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that makes
I
sense.
have it,
now.
Max. I'll let you borrow it.
All right, yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is
you got
nowadays.
at least once.
It's weird nowadays. Like, oh, let you borrow it. No, I just go on Netflix. It's fine.
Yeah, right. No, it's on Netflix. Like, wow, I'm old.
Yeah, I miss Blockbuster. I just miss the
Me too.
smell of all the plastic. It's probably bad for us, but who cares? The smell. They're like, ooh, what's this?
I want to watch that Netflix special, The Last Blockbuster. Have you seen that yet?
No.
It's about like there's a Blockbuster in Oregon. Oh, did he freeze? Oh,
I think he's back.
you still there, Josh?
Hey, you guys are back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, have you seen that yet? The Last Blockbuster on Netflix?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it sounds interesting. It's just basically they go to like the last store to like,
Documentary?
Oregon. Yeah.
I think I want to say there's one in Ohio or close to Ohio. There's one, I think.
I think they all offed them though. At least per the way they describe it in the preview of the movie. At like that one's still standing.
That
That's
sucks
it.
because like Blockbuster was so cool. Like you had like a time limit. Like, okay, go pick a movie. But Netflix, you just be like,
Yep.
oh crap, an hour, gotta go. Can't watch a movie.
Just all those reviews that it's so crazy that Netflix. I vaguely remember it, but like Netflix was through the mail at first.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, they would send the DVDs. It's insane. But yeah, I remember getting off of school on a Friday night and my mom taking me to Blockbuster and picking out a couple movies, you know? So
Yeah, it's such a. I think for us being in the millennial age gap, like that was just like ingrained in us. And
Yep.
it's really a random fact, but it ties in the Blockbuster. Is I remember watching a documentary. I forget the name of it, but it was about Enron. And literally, Enron, if you really look at the timeline, is the reason that Blockbuster doesn't cease to exist. Because in the movie, they were trying to describe it. It's true that Enron was talking to Blockbuster about, all right, let's do a deal. We have a partner in California to do like broadband video. And you're going to be like a broadband video stream. And they dumped millions and millions. And really, it was just like pumping to keep Enron alive. And the project failed. But basically, what they were creating in the year 2099 would have been what Netflix is today.
right.
And if it wasn't for that, Enron doing that whole scheme and then obviously ruining it, Blockbuster wouldn't lost all that money. They couldn't reinvest. And then obviously, there are other mistakes. They didn't buy Netflix when they could have.
Yep.
But those two things, like Enron killed Blockbuster. It's just kind of it blows my
Interesting.
mind when I remember that from
Yeah.
the movie, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why was Enron, the company that doesn't even relate to technology or internet, and like there were like more oil speculations getting into like movies. Like
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't like Netflix at the time, they like offered to buy Blockbuster and they were like, no, or is it the other way around?
Other way around. It was like 2000 or 2001 was just the mail business. And I think it was like only like 10, 20 million, which nowadays would be like a bargain deal. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, it just was like, no, we're good.
Look at them now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Something did work where Blockbuster was like Netflix said, hey, we'll join you. And Blockbuster's like, no.
Dang.
It's funny. I don't know how Josh feels, but back in that day, you had trailers, and nowadays it's like, I can watch it 20 times. So after Endgame, I know they're going to have series, right? I was like, I'm not going to watch any trailers for any of the series. And I'm so far so good, 2 for 2. I haven't watched any trailers for Falcon or Wanda.
Okay.
And to be honest, it's so much better. Like, because I got pissed off when BVS ruined Doomsday. I was like, thanks. Saw the whole movie.
Agreed.
I know what's gonna happen.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm one of those guys too. I try to stay away from the trailers because trailers nowadays, they try to jam pack as much of the movie as they can into that 2-minute span trailer. And some movies, literally, if you just watch the trailer, you know exactly how the movie's gonna go, So take Tenet, for instance. Wait, you guys have never seen Tenet, have you?
No.
But you guys know what it's about?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all this stuff. Okay. If they didn't put the element of time travel, everything reversed, they put that in the trailer, Can you imagine if you've never seen the trailer for Tenet and you go into that movie for the first time and that shit starts happening? You're going to be like, what is going on, But they released the trailer. You see what's going on. Buildings are going back in time, Now you know what's going to happen. But if you've never seen that before and you go into the movie blind, you're going to have a completely different experience.
Yeah, I did that, which is going to lead into my next talk. I did that with the Justice League, the 4-hour one.
Yep.
I'm like, God damn it, I did it again. They just showed Jared Leto. God damn it.
Yep.
I was like,
yep.
Damn. But
yeah. Well, it didn't help too that if you go on any freaking app at that time, they're posting about it on Instagram. At least my Instagram was like that. It's Jared Leto, Zack Snyder, IGN.
The thing I realized that I knew the 4-hour one was going to be so much better when they did the Super Bowl ad back in the day for the Josh Whedon cut and Superman was there. I was like, okay, thanks. He's not dead.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You almost wonder. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say you almost think with like trailers that maybe it would almost be a bold take to almost like you do a trailer where you just like have like maybe the director or like one actor be like, yo, this is a movie, like this is a cool movie we just did. We're not gonna show you clips, like go check it out. It would almost be like so like, oh, okay, we're just gonna go in blind. But I feel like nowadays you have such an attention issue.
Yeah. Oh no, I 100% agree with that.
It's kind of hard to say what the best trailer was. I think Endgame and Infinity War were better trailers, I think, because they're like, okay, Thanos is there. And then the next one's like, okay, everybody's dead, but are they coming back? Like,
yeah, exactly.
So I think they did a good job there, but
yeah. I mean, the only thing that I had with Endgame was, I'm pretty sure, if I do recall, there were some spots in Endgame where they kind of spoiled what was going to happen. Like they were like, oh yeah, don't watch the trailer or whatever. And like there was certain parts where like certain characters were alive again. You're like, oh, okay, well, I know that they're coming back to life, So
yeah, they have to be careful with that. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Especially a movie of that caliber.
Marvel's like pretty decent, like perfect wise, but sometimes they mess this. Hey, hot take. Sometimes Marvel messes up.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm more of a DC guy, which I want to ask, what did you think of the actual Justice League?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the people that originally seen the first Justice League and then they thought that this one was a remake. and they didn't want to watch it, or they were like, oh, it's 4 hours long. Like, first of all, you knew originally it was supposed to be 4 hours. Second of all, you're getting it released in your house. Why, you went to the theaters and watched Endgame. It was three hours long. You know what I mean? What's another hour?
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic film. I'm so glad that they gave just everyone more development. Cyborg. It's basically like in a nutshell, it's Cyborg's movie. You know what I mean? The Superman stuff was awesome. They made Steppenwolf was a badass. He looks so different, like side by side comparison. You're like, what the hell was this crap we got in 2017? You know what I mean? They don't even talk about Darkseid in the original movie.
No, and he didn't
Steppenwolf is supposed to be Darkseid. And you're like, are you joking me?
Yeah, my friend had I was like, no, this is not reshot. This is what he had on tape. The only thing one of my other friends were like, oh, he reshot this so he can be like, there was the Cyborg thing when he gave the money to that girl.
Yep.
Oh, he reshot that because, Black Lives Matter. I'm like, no, it's already there.
Yeah,
the only thing he reshot was the Joker. That's it. Oh, he froze again.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
There he is. Perfect.
And audio's gone.
Yeah, we're waiting for the audio to come back. Don't call in the cable company.
Yeah, the only thing Zack Snyder even said it himself, because he was getting a lot of backlash. He even said the only thing that I reshot was just that nightmare scene. That's it.
Yeah.
That was the original movie.
And I think it's so cool that Ben, Jared, and I think Flash,
Joe Maglio and all them.
They're just like, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll come.
Yeah, exactly.
For free.
Exactly.
Like, something was good.
Yeah.
With Zach.
The thing is, too, is with Jared Leto, I want to see more of him now, too. Because everyone roasted him for Suicide Squad. But with that Joker, I wouldn't say it was amazing. But he's definitely got my attention. So
yeah, I hope I'm excited for the Pattinson Batman, but I hope that maybe the fans again can be like, we want the Snyder, what do they call them now? Cinematic Universe. That's what they call them now.
Yeah.
We want the
restore it or whatever.
Yeah, we want the Snyder universe, because even BVS, like the 3-hour cut, so much better.
Agreed, 100%.
So much better.
Yeah,
like, they leave stuff. I don't get why Warner Brothers like, no, you can't. No, it's fine. We're not going to show that. It's stupid. It's like, yeah, but the fight was stupid because like there was no substance. And then you watch 3 hour and it's like, oh yeah, okay, now I can get why they could fight.
If Warner Brothers does not come out with a sequel to Justice League, they're literally sitting on a gold mine and they're just gonna throw it in the trash. You know what I mean?
They were ahead of Marvel. They had CW shows. All they had to do was buy them.
Exactly.
Like you had a side character in the Arrow, and you had the Flash casted already.
Yeah. I heard rumor that if Warner Brothers drops the project, that HBO said that they would come out and do it. Because originally Justice League was supposed to be 3 movies. So basically the next movie would be them fighting Darkseid. And then probably the same thing with like Thanos. He'll probably go away. And then the last movie, they'll come together and fight him again, defeat him. So I'm hoping that'd be awesome, because with that movie, it's the second highest rating superhero movie of all time now, behind The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
It's crazy.
Very, very little negative comments about that movie.
Yeah, my friend gave it like a 6. He was all nitpicky. I'm like, dude, like, if you watch, like, somebody on YouTube did like a comparison and stuff. If you go back, even the freaking lines they say are so bad. Like, when Superman comes back, he's like, you have fear. But in this one, he's like, not impressed.
Yeah.
Like, that was so much better. That was so much better.
I mean, just even like with the mustache, like, because he was shooting for Mission Impossible. So they literally CGI'd his mustache the whole movie. Like, are you joking me, dude?
Have you seen that picture, Max?
What picture?
Hold on.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
I'll pull it up.
He had this, like,
if you want to ask
this ridiculous smile the whole movie, and you knew it was CGI.
Oh god, that sounds cringy. Well,
Oh,
the
so-
day Constellation, I used to work for AT&T, so if there's anything with like letdowns from their end because they own Warner Brothers now, I'm not surprised. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it was the CEO. She came out and I think it's a girl, but she came out and said like we're not doing anything with Justice League after this.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And I love that he put his daughter at the end. That was awesome. That was very cute.
Yes. That was awesome.
So this is side by side. This is Snyder's cut. Okay, so the left one is the Joss Whedon, and the one on
That's like the first Justice League that came out, right? That had mixed reviews.
yeah, and then the right one is the real version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
It's like a
Just
video
even
game.
show-
Like
Just even show him Steppenwolf side by side.
yeah.
It's insane.
that's funny. It reminds me of like your like yeah, it's Check You Betcha and like Channel 7
Yeah,
News
literally.
Kalamazoo. Like
Literally. Yeah.
okay, I was thinking about some hot takes. So is there a movie that comes to mind? I found the one for me that does it, that you started watching the movie, like, okay, I'm here for it. It's good, it's good. And the ending's just garbage and it pisses you off.
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. See, these type of questions, it's so hard to like think of a movie. Yeah, it's terrible. Look at
That's
that.
terrible.
Trash.
So bad.
So bad.
So the one that comes to mind, as far as not of all time, but recent that I got pissed off at was Downsizing.
Okay.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. My
Okay.
parents watched it. They said the same thing. So
Yeah, you
I know.
watch it and at first like, this is kind of a cute concept. Okay. And literally the end, I mean, whatever. Literally it's like
Okay, I got one.
the world's like melt out, something's melting, and then they all just walk into a hole, and that's it. It was the
Really?
dumbest ending. So fucking dumb. Like I said, I joke, like basic bitch, I usually watch it. Okay, like everything wrapped up, as long as like the bow's tied, I'm cool, whatever. I left them like,
Right.
well, I just wasted an hour and 50 minutes of my life. Like that's how
That's
pissed
fine.
I was at that one. Would you have one?
I'm thinking. I want
Okay.
Josh to have
The thing
one.
is, too, is like I was really intrigued with that movie too. That was one of the movies I never got to see in theaters because I seen the trailer and I was like, oh, it looks pretty cool.
Right.
But yeah, I started hearing that and I was like, oh, I don't know. So
Especially because if you look at it from, I
Yeah,
always
that's
try to look
hard.
at things periodically too. Like Martian came out that same time,
Right.
and that movie's fucking great.
fantastic.
Yeah. So how is that? Like you have Matt Damon like in the same era working, like have one's like, oh, this is good, and this one's. I mean, that's directors and
Yeah.
producing people, but
Yeah, The Martian was a great movie. Oh my, that's a movie I could watch over and over again too.
mhm.
Doesn't get
I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
I have one.
It
I
just-
have two.
Okay.
Wait.
I lost the audio. Still there, Josh? Still there?
you guys cut out a little bit.
Yeah,
There he is.
doing our thing. Okay, he's back. You go ahead.
Whatever you just said, say it again.
Oh, I didn't say. I just said you guys cut out.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think my movie, I can't think of anything that like pissed me off, but the one that really got me was this is my like top 3 horror movies I love.
Mm.
Like this is the latest one that freaked me out and still does when I watch it is Insidious.
Okay.
Like
Great
I have to
movie.
sleep with a light on every time. Like I don't know why it just
Right.
freaks me out. But
Just
the
the
thing
music.
that made me mad was the ending. Like, how does that even make sense? Like they don't explain how. I won't spoil. I won't try and spoil how this character is now in here, and like how does that?
Oh yeah.
that
I
didn't
get what
make any sense. How did Patrick Wilson? Who's Patrick Wilson now? Like, is he like bad or?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the next movie, that person is back. I was like, well, yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But that whole movie's perfect for me. Like that freaked
Oh,
me
yeah.
out so much,
That's a great movie.
especially the kitchen when they're all sitting there.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Devil.
gosh.
Dude,
Uh.
every time I jumped, like it's coming,
Yep, I know it's coming.
it's coming. But the best thing about that, James Wan, like he did in Conjuring too, like just the camera just keeps getting closer, closer,
Mhm.
closer, and you don't notice it until like it's right on top of him, and then bang,
Yeah.
it's like
Fantastic. He's such a good director.
God, it's so good. And he did Aquaman randomly, but that was still pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Aquaman wasn't bad.
No,
That's a movie everyone roasts. I'm like, I don't know if it was like trash, but it was all right. It was good.
That was the other nitpick my friend had. He's like, well, in Aquaman, he doesn't really talk about his father. I'm like, this was before.
Right. Oh yeah, exactly.
Way before.
Yeah.
Way before.
Why is there an Aquaman movie already? So I don't know.
And then the other one would probably be Batman vs Superman at the end, because I'm like, holy shit, they killed him. That's awesome. Like, good for them.
Yeah.
Like, good for them. And then the Rock's move. I'm like, of course.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you had.
I really wish too we would have got that end scene with Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor, and all that. I wish, but that'll probably never come about. So
I don't know why people give him shit. Like, if you watch the 3-hour version, like, he literally says, "Yeah, he's my father." Like, okay, this is a different Lex. Like,
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I wish. The only thing that I wish about that scene that would have been better with that is literally if you heard the Joker's laugh in the background. I think that would make that scene so insane. Like they're all coming together to form the Injustice, you know?
They need to do that. I hope they do that. That has to happen.
Actually, that's a good segue. And speaking of Jesse Eisenberg,
there's so many different universes now. I mean, now you got Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, and that blew up. So now you have more movies with that, and then you have Robert Pattinson's Batman movie. You know, it's like and then people now with seeing this movie, they're like, oh, well, I want to see Ben Affleck's Batman now. It's like, how many Batman movies are we gonna make? You know, I mean, I'm down for all of them for sure. It's just universe, you know, people. The average person is probably going to get super confused. Exactly.
Yeah, for like geeks, it's like, yeah, I know what's going on, but like a basic bitch, it's like, what? Why are there so many?
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that though. Yeah.
No,
right.
No, we get it.
Yeah.
The only quick Eisenberg reference I was going to say.
I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah. The quick Eisenberg reference I was going to say is a good movie about the weird ending is Social Network. Love Social Network, but I feel like the end fell flat. Not horrendous. I don't know. I feel like you have this buildup of Mark Zuckerberg's character, and at the end, it's like he has no friends, but it's like he's just in a room. I don't know. I feel like it could have ended a lot more dramatically.
I mean, that could have been another 3-hour movie.
They should have.
It was fantastic, but they wrapped it up too quick.
That's what it is. It wrapped up so quick, and you're like, oh, like the buildup's like great, and then it's like, oh, okay, we're like, that's all, folks. Like,
yeah, I actually seen that movie for the first time, like during quarantine. I never seen it.
Oh, so wow.
It was pretty nice. I was like, wow, I've been sleeping on this movie forever. I'd see like the clips on Instagram and stuff. I'm like, what is this movie? And then I finally watched it.
Yeah,
so that's a good movie.
With my fiance, it was her first time like in quarantine. We were like, she's like, you always quote this movie. We gotta watch it. Yeah, fuck yeah, we're watching. She loved it.
That's how I am with movie quotes. My girlfriend, she always is like, I'll say a line from a movie and she has no idea. So
yeah, I mean, she deals with it, but yeah, like every day, she'll say like a color and be like, oh, I can movie line.
Right.
Oh, here's a fun question for all of us. What's the last movie you just watched, like most recently? Oh. Like an actual like film.
That's funny.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, I just watched Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah, me too. That was my last one.
Oh, you guys are samesies?
Yep.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's on HBO.
I should. I mean,
talk about it.
Ironically, the last one I did watch was HBO, but it was Judas and the Messiah.
Oh, I heard that's good.
I haven't seen it. I heard it was good though.
Yeah, that one's good. Obviously it's very time appropriate with like as far as
Black Panthers, right?
Yes, it basically. Yeah, I won't give too much away. But basically, what it is it's like a rising person in the Black Panther movement, and this other guy got in trouble it's a true story. But got in trouble for carjacking, and the FBI said, okay, instead of putting you away for jail for carjacking, we're having you go in as a plant in the Black Panthers and like tell us stuff. And basically, it's kind of like nowadays, like okay, they had their door painted the wrong way, so we're gonna find a way to like cause chaos and break up.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the gist of the movie, but it's well done, and the characters are just played really well. Although what's interesting, is it Jesse Plemons who's in it?
I think so.
Yeah, he's like one of the agents. But whenever I watch him, I can't unsee from his role in Friday Night Lights. Like I cannot.
Right.
like a CIA or FBI agent. I'm like, I always think of him as like I forget his character's name, but I just think of the whole Friday Night Lights, like NBC.
Yeah,
universe.
you definitely get that with certain actors, like that one film that they're known for, and then they do another. Like, you take Robert Pattinson, for instance. Everyone's roasts all of his other films, but because they always resort back to him as the vampire in Twilight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he said, like, I needed money. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
people don't know, like, acting is a struggle. Like, it's a struggle.
Yeah. I mean, literally, you're unemployed until you get a job.
But it's good for him because now he's getting like decent roles, like The Devil All the Time. I don't know if you saw that one on Netflix.
What was it?
The Devil All the Time with Tom Holland's in it.
No, I haven't. My buddy watched it. He said it was good.
So Pattinson's in it, and he plays like a priest with a outrageous, weird British Southern accent. I'm like, I don't know how he did it.
Right.
It was so weird, but he's super creepy in that. Like,
good movie.
I gave it like a 7. Yeah, it's good. It's long. It's a long story. Like, there's a lot going on, but it's good.
Y'all check it out. What'd you think of Kong? Godzilla.
It was okay. I think King of Monsters, like, I grew up on Godzilla, so I feel like King of Monsters was like the nostalgia movie for me. Like, had everybody
King Ghidorah and stuff.
I felt like Godzilla versus Kong was like, when they were on screen, was great. And I was mad that they kind of just threw Kyle Chandler to the side, the dad. Like, yeah, you can go over there.
He was literally in the movie for like his whole issue, or his whole thing when the movie was to find Millie Bobby Brown. If you really think about it.
Yeah, I don't know if he was canceled or anything, but that's how it felt. Like, he was just like, it was a big role in that King of Monsters movie. And then, like, he's like in it for 5 minutes. I'm like, I was excited to see him again. Like,
right.
He plays the same person every time, but
yeah. I think they just need to make like those type of movies. Like, they need to cut out the human stuff. I feel like just give me a movie with Godzilla fighting Kong or King Ghidorah or whatever, and keep the human stuff to like a minimum.
I feel like they listened in King of Monsters, and then they're like, "Oh, let's go back to Godzilla 2014." Like, no, we want to see more fights. And
exactly, yeah, that made me mad. I liked that movie in 2014, but yeah, to your point, like, I want to see Godzilla. I think they were trying to go back to like kind of how the horror movies were back in the day. Like, you know who the killer is, and you don't see him at all. So like, oh, you know who Godzilla is, but we're gonna give you his foot.
Yeah, but he's a monster. He's not a human.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Myers is creepy.
When the doors close real fast.
We know Michael Myers is creepy, so we don't want to see him. But like a monster, like we want to see it from
let me see it
toe to head. We want to see it.
Exactly.
The other problem with Godzilla vs. Kong was like that whole I was just gonna call her 11 and her friends. Like, that whole thing was so stupid.
I mean, literally, the only reason they were there is to do that one thing in the movie.
Yeah,
that's it.
And there was no point because a certain character dies, and then Robot Godzilla is just like, okay, I'm gonna do my own thing. I was like, well, you just wasted what, half hour of that?
Yep.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
But it was still when they were battling each other, still epic.
Oh yeah, the fights, they do the fights great, and just like, can we just have like maybe 30 minutes of people instead of 30 minutes of fights?
Exactly.
I need to watch some of those newer Godzillas, because when I was a kid, I used to watch like the old Japanese ones. Like,
I grew up on that. Like, my dad had all the VHS for that.
Yep. All the toys and stuff.
Yeah.
I still have the toys. Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool seeing Ghidorah on screen. I never thought that it was going to come to fruition, and then we finally got it. Yeah,
that was awesome. We don't talk about the New York one though.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah.
I just remember like Diddy having a song.
It was. If they didn't put Godzilla on it, I would have been fine. I would have been fine with it. But they put Godzilla. It's like, yeah, but he breathes air and not fire. Like,
right. Yeah. Literally.
Actually, speaking of that cool concept, I was talking to a friend of mine because it was a movie we watched a long time ago, but was like Cloverfield. I haven't thought. I can't. Yeah, I forgot about. It's been a hot minute. Like, oh my god, I forgot how good that was.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I may, in the words of Josh, probably teasing me, I might have to watch that again because I don't remember it. Yeah,
Matt Reeves directed that.
Yes, Cloverfield was a great movie. I loved it. I seen that in theaters.
Oh, I bet that was sick in theaters.
Yeah,
Anybody like pass out? Because I know there's like a shaky cam.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so. But that's with found footage movies. That's always the biggest complaint with people is they're like, oh, the camera's all shaking and stuff. It's like, well, that's the point of the movie, you know. It's supposed to make it seem like it's a real film, you know. So,
man, this going down this movie wormhole is fun because I feel like there's questions that you think about, but you never like pop open in the atmosphere.
We gotta do a movie show sometime. It'd be so much fun.
You two should carry down a movie show.
That'd be fun, yeah. That'd be crazy.
I mean, we're always expanding here at Wingman of the Year if you're ever a free agent.
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say.
I want to just mention.
Yeah, hone in here. Yeah.
It's on your TikTok, so if you don't want to show it, you don't have to. But we got to talk about your tattoo, the leg.
Okay. All right.
It has like everything. So, not really a question, but how'd you like start it? How did it all come together? I mean, that's a lot.
I think he lost connection.
Oh.
But yeah, we got a leg. It's a tattoo. It's big.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So, yeah, it's like I was doing like visuals, like leg tattoo, hair.
That's awesome. All right, what did you guys say? I didn't hear a word you said.
Okay, so obviously you probably heard this part. So it's on TikTok. Your leg tattoos on TikTok. I mean, every video. It's in every video. So
yeah.
Did you come up with that concept? Like, I want all my favorite horror people on a tattoo. Like, was that your idea?
So when I was younger, I definitely wanted tattoos, and I figured I didn't know what I wanted. All I knew was I love horror films, and I originally wanted to put on my arm, but I made the decision to myself that you never know what's going to happen in life, and as much as we want to think about it or whatnot or say, society does look down in the workforce on tattoos that are visible, So I decided to put them on my leg. So that way I can cover it up. Like, I still meet people to this day that don't know I have them, So it was just a personal choice. People still tell me to this day, like, why didn't you do that? And it's like, well, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So that's pretty much why.
I didn't even know you had the nun from Conjuring. So was that the one that hurt the most, or that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah, both of those actually.
Okay.
Those are the two that definitely hurt the most. Yeah. And I'm pretty good with pain. Like I said, I've got like 90 to 100 hours on my leg. And those ones, like, I got halfway through both of those and I was like almost wanting to tap out, but I made the appointment, so I didn't want to like have to come back,
It's so weird. Like, people can get hand tattoos and be fine, but you'd be like, man, the one on my shoulder was killer. Like, I don't know why. Like,
right.
what you like, since you have like a whole, I guess, do you call it a sleeve if it's on your leg?
Yeah, people call it like a pant leg. And I'm like, that just sounds weird, Oh, hey, look at my pant leg. Like, I just call it my leg sleeve,
Well, if it's was it on your calf?
It's on my whole entire leg.
Oh my god! I was gonna say, if it was on your calf, I'd just say I'd call it a cleave, but.
Oh, hey,
you take that one to the bank.
But why did the of course I'm forgetting its name. Why did the nun like hurt so much? Was it just a weird area?
Yeah, I just think because it's like, it's just like a fatty area, and it's just like there's really like no like muscle there. So same thing with like the inner thigh. Like it's still, I don't even know how to explain it. Maybe just the area. I don't know.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it is weird, man.
I mean, the nun gives pain because she slaps rulers on you.
Yeah, yeah. Like my kneecap. Like, you would think the kneecap hurt would be like the worst because it's just bone. But
right,
like, to me,
so
that didn't hurt.
Yeah, and I work out so much that like, oh, you should get a tattoo. I'm like, I'm worried that my shoulder muscles are gonna like kill me when I get it.
Right.
And then everybody's like, oh my god, the back of my hamstring where all the fat is destroyed me. I'm like, that's so weird.
Yep. Yeah, I multiple times I got tattooed and like went and played basketball like that night still. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
It's so weird that like a fatty area would be like
Mhm.
the worst. Like I just don't. It's so weird.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
So for like the people who don't know, like who's on there? Like, of course, the big four. Jason's on there. Michael Myers
yeah.
on there. Freddy's
Yeah.
on there.
So hold on, let's hopefully I don't forget any. I got Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Hannibal Lecter, Chucky, Pennywise, the Nun, Leatherface, Predator.
Oh,
I have a Queen Alien with a face hugger. Captain Spaulding, Pinhead, Jaws. I have a Jaws mural. What else? I'm forgetting some. I always forget like one or two. Did I say Leatherface?
don't think
Jason.
so.
I have Jason.
You said Jason. Yes.
Ghostface.
Oh, Ghostface. Nice. Yep.
Killer.
Yep. I think that's it.
The nun is Valak. I don't know.
Yes,
I totally forgot
Valak.
that. Totally forgot
Yep.
that name.
Yep. I should have 13 or 14 pieces.
I think you got close there. At least
Yeah.
I think you got close enough.
Mhm.
Go out close enough.
Yeah, for sure.
You have Black Lagoon on there.
No, that would be sick though.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
My
My next one is going to be my foot, so not looking forward to that.
yeah.
I know.
Just like all the veins and the weird
Yeah.
bones there.
I'm just to the point now in my life where I was younger and I wanted to just get it done with. And, I was getting tattooed 3 times a month sometimes, I was just, I have the money. I want to get it. I want to get it. I want to get it. Now it's like, it's basically done. So it's like, I'm not really that, I'm interested still, but I'm not like pushing for it like I used to be. So
For a rookie, because I do want to get a few, like I have ideas and stuff.
Mhm.
Tell me, like, what's something I should think about before I get it? Is it the cost, or is it like making sure that I'm okay with having that
Mhm.
rest of my life?
Yeah, to be honest, it's really just I would do your research with the artist that you want. Cost to me, cost is not an issue. You want the best quality work from a really good artist. Don't go to, like, I made the mistake. I went to a mom and pop's shop, in my hometown, and I got tattooed by, and I had to get it redone. So I paid for 2 tattoos twice. So between those two, I have almost $3,000 just in tattoos. You know what I'm saying? So,
Which isn't that bad when you look at it. Yours,
right. But I could have saved $1,500.
Right. Yeah. Correct.
And 2, my Michael Myers, like I love my Michael Myers tattoo, but like my artist that I go to now, I wish he would have did it originally, because the one that the first person just did it so bad that now like it looks good, but it could have been so much better.
Shameless plug. That's on his TikTok.
Yeah, exactly.
So was it Myers and Valak that were messed up?
No, it was Freddy Krueger and Michael.
Yep. Okay.
Freddy Krueger wasn't completely messed up. My artist just wanted to redo it because every time I'd go in there, some guy would come in and he'd be like, "Oh, nice leg," and he'd be like, "Yeah, the whole leg's mine besides these 2." And he'd always want to redo them so he can call the whole leg his. So yeah. Plus the Freddy Krueger was in color, so he literally turned it all into black and gray. So
what about the people that get like the flowers on their ankle?
oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I love her, but my sister does that stuff, and she's like,
Mhm.
"I'm getting my tattoo, my 3rd one." I'm like, "You have ones I can't even see unless you tell me because they're so tiny."
Right. Yeah. My girlfriend, she has a arm sleeve of like flowers and stuff. So I always roast her because she's basic. But I'm just joking. It doesn't really bother me.
Gotta keep it humble, right?
Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to cancel her just because she has that. You know what
Full
I'm saying?
circle. I love it.
Exactly.
I think we have come full circle.
But yeah, definitely do your research,
Yeah.
Price is not an option just because they're like, "Oh, I can do it for $50." Like, look at their work. I know people that are like, "Oh yeah, I have a sleeve but it looks like dog shit. And they're like, yeah, I paid $100 for the whole thing, you know? Yeah.
I have one last question, Max, if you have any others that you can think of.
Oh, keep coming, guys. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, keep going if you have any.
The only thing I had thought of on the movie end, I guess we can wrap up that, is because obviously we're talking about HBO things. The big one that's really anticipated for them is Space Jam 2.
Okay.
And I think there's been a lot of mixed reviews on this.
Well, because of the bunny, you know.
Well, yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I'm going to miss sexy Lola. But
you couldn't do that nowadays, though, because the movie would get canceled.
So weird.
Wild.
Right?
No, you have a point.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I guess my feeling is when we're gonna go into watching it blind, right? I feel it because it's not like a true, in my opinion, a true sequel, and that's not a knock on it. It's just it's 20 almost, let's call it 25 years apart with two different athletes. Like it's a totally different concept. I'm gonna wait here because he's there. Okay, good. How do you feel people should judge that movie when you watch it?
I don't really know. That's the thing. That's always my, like what you just said is the same exact way that I look at sequels too. Like take for instance, like Dumb and Dumber. That movie came out, it was fantastic. So they wait, 20 years, and then they finally come out with a sequel, and it was trash. You know, if you're gonna come out with a sequel, come out with a sequel like 2 years later. You know what I mean? Don't give me this half-ass sequel that comes out 30 years after the original. Why are we doing this? Because you don't have any ideas for new movies.
It has to be time period based, I feel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like you said, to your point with the Space Jams, you're gonna get the kids of the generation that are younger than us. They're gonna be like, "Oh, this movie was awesome. Did you see LeBron James in it?" You know, It's like, okay, but if we say, "Oh yeah, Space Jam, the first one was so much better," you know. They're going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? You know?
Right. So, or both could actually be okay in their own way, but you have to almost go into like the LeBron version is like, all right, I'm watching this as this. I can't compare it to Michael Jordan's.
Exactly. You have to go into it knowing like it's probably not going to be as good. You know, it's probably going to be okay. Yeah. But yeah, you gotta shut that part off of your brain and be like, all right, this is just LeBron version.
I'm curious because I actually have to say, whether you're a LeBron fan or not, anybody, I think he actually did quite well acting wise in what was it called? Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. Yeah, I agree 100%.
He did good in that. So I'm actually in the camp of like, it might actually be rather interesting. And if anything, it's going to like get people more annoyed. It's going to be like the way the directors like threw in like one of the Looney Tune characters. There's going to be dumb shit like that where you're like, okay. That's going to be annoying than LeBron, I feel.
Do we know the supporting basketball cast? Like we had Sean Bradley and Ewing and stuff like that.
Yes, I can pull that up.
I'm pretty sure it's Damian Lillard, Klay Thompson. Those are the only two I know for sure.
Damian is filthy.
Yeah. 100%.
Okay, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Damian Lillard, Diana Taurasi. She's a curveball, and then Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
Wait, Kyrie's gonna do something?
Yeah. Right. He's gonna give LeBron James a movie. Give him a title.
I'm trying to make sure. Oh, and then I'm gonna butcher this, but Nanika Aguimic of the LA Sparks for the WNBA.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I'm surprised Steph Curry's not in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm surprised too. I'm looking really quick through these. Yeah. And then what's his name? He's in what's that movie? That movie. Don Shield.
War Machine.
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don Shield.
Yeah. Great actor.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure.
Feels good.
But
that reminds me, actually, I need to watch season 2 of Black Monday on Showtime.
Speaking of sequels, something talking about full circle. Like, it's funny. Like, did our parents go through the same shit we are going through now with sequels? Like, because I'll show them a movie, they're like, "Oh, have you seen this movie?" And they're like, "I think that was a remake in the '60s." I'm like,
right?
What?
Star is Born.
Yeah, Star is Born.
Right. Yeah.
I've not seen the original, but still, like, I think we're going through the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Hollywood just, they don't come up with any like original material anymore. I feel like everything is a remake. You know, I heard the other day that they're trying to remake Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm like, that movie came out like 20 years ago. Like, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Unless
And,
you're
and
like,
it's not even like the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie came out what 3 years ago. It's not like this series has been dead for 50 years, you know, and then we're gonna redo it. The movie, it's literally 3 years ago the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie came out.
That's a good point. Like your consumer base is still actively alive and remembers probably easily.
It's all money. That's why.
unless you're Zack Snyder, Nolan, the guy who made Requiem for a Dream, there's not really a lot of original stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what other area pisses me off is the lack of like original like comedies now.
It's all
Oh yeah, agreed.
That it annoys me. Like the 2000s were so heavy with it. You had like Anchorman, you had Old School, you had Wedding Crashers,
Euro Trip, Wedding Crashers,
Pineapple Express, Super Bad. Like, oh my god.
Agreed.
I think
I would say like the cutoff was like the Hangover era.
Yeah. You can maybe not bloody, but muddy the water where like 21 and 22 Jump Street kinda like they're kind of floating in that, but like that's a little newer. Like
those are funny.
Or you know, like what's a good? I think it's a good comedy, but I feel like because the way they market them, it's undersold. Like Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, solid, funny movie, but like you said, it's like they didn't put a lot of promo on it. You're like, okay,
yeah, comedy movies are not the same like that what they used to be.
The funniest thing is, comedy is now action movies.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the generation. Like they don't want to sit through an hour and a half of a stupid story with jokes every minute. They need something else.
It's an action movie with comedy elements inside of it.
Jumanji.
Yep. Which was a good movie. I like them.
Yeah.
Or you know, a good example of maybe like you said, maybe it's just changing is like I feel like the last comedy based movie that's like, yeah, you gotta watch this, which is a Judd Apatow, was King of Staten Island. I liked it, but it wasn't like a heater. It was like a couple jokes here and there, but it was more like The Trainwreck actually I thought was more consistent than King of Staten Island, which sucks. I like Pete a lot, and Bill Burr's good too, but it's just like yeah, for sure.
Well, I think the thing is that with comedies, what made them so good, like the other guys, you had cameos. Like cameos make a comedy. Derek Jeter got shot. Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. The Rock was in it for like 2 seconds. That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trainwreck had so many cameos. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree.
Crazy. Yeah, that was my only thing. I missed some good comedies, you know? Like
it's just not the same. Like you said, you listed off so many good comedies of that era, you know. But like nowadays, I don't even know if you can get away with any of that stuff, you know.
Oh, I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, like even Kevin Hart, like his gay joke was funny.
Oh, his last stand-up?
I didn't think no.
That too. He got canceled
for the Oscars.
When he got canceled. Or like with his stupid kid that goes in the oven and stuff. Like I thought that was hilarious. Like I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, literally.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, you got canceled. I'm like, what? Yeah, I watched
Kevin Hart's movies getting pulled from Netflix, you know, stuff like that.
I watched that specific special it was on. I think it was even the one with Shaq on it. Like, I was like, that's it. Like, he literally yells, "Hey, that's gay." Like,
yeah. Like, do people not know that? Like, we're not trying to like. I don't know, like when I was younger, even sometimes even to now, I'll be like, oh, that's gay. It's not like I'm calling somebody homophobic, you know, I'm literally, or you're a homo. It's just me saying that's just gay. That's just one of those, it's just a saying, you know, but I don't know, you get the people that, like I said, fit their agenda and, oh, I'm so offended. We got to cancel this guy, you know?
I think it's lack of context. I think that's what it is. People don't want to put context to things. So it's like, it's like.
Exactly. No, I agree.
If you put context on it, you're like, okay. Because I don't think people want like, and I think what's frustrating too, and it's hard because there is certain things like if you do call it cancel culture, that it makes sense that there's change and there makes sense that there's progress. But it's almost like because we're freaking out about, you know, something about like whether it be a Potato Head or Dr. Seuss, and not that like they have the right to do those things, but like the fact that that's like we're spending as a society our energy on it. It diffuses things where it's like, okay, we're not handling things like homelessness or race or like it's defeating the whole fucking purpose of what it should be.
Yep. Let's take obviously I don't want to get into the politics or whatever, but
right.
let's take a colored man off of a rice packet. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense.
And now there's no more Spider-Man jokes because of it.
Yeah. Right.
Although I have to say, since you did bring up Uncle Ben, that Dave Chappelle's SNL skit with like getting rid of all the characters and stuff, that was such a good skit. That was so funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at Pete Davidson's chocolatey lips.
Oh my God.
Surprised he's still relevant. I don't know how he does it.
Oh, Dave's
right.
Like,
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, good.
He's borderline. Like I feel like every time he has a special, I'm like, guy, this is it. He's done.
Yep.
This is gonna be the one. He's gonna get canceled.
Sure.
But
that's funny. Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
Maybe he's in the same boat as Eminem because he grew up on it. So we're like, nope, not doing it.
Right.
No, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of context to it, I feel.
Yeah, context. That's the thing is I feel like people don't look at, like you said, they don't look at that though. Like if there was context to it, you could understand. Oh, okay, I understand it now. They just want to not think outside the box. They just want to straight and narrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
Agree.
No, this has been I for me, I'm good. Because I think we've tackled everything. It's been
good.
really
the
awesome.
only thing I just want to ask is, doing social media and stuff. In what ways has it changed your life? Like,
that's a good point. Yeah.
Do you make it a priority to make a TikTok every day, or like, you know what? I need a couple days off. Like, has it changed your life in any way?
I wouldn't say it changed my life. I mean, I don't know. I get down on myself if like a video doesn't do good or something like that, or like I think like it's gonna blow up or whatnot. But really, like my style is I have like a bunch of drafts. So like I film like a bunch. So like if you like some of my videos, it'll be like I'll have the same shirt on in a different video. It's just because I film in bulk. So I got like a bunch of drafts. So I'm not worrying about filming new content. You know what I mean? Obviously I still do film new content, here and there, but usually I post like I said, like once or two times a day. Other than that, changed my life. I think the thing that changed my life the most is when I get messages from people or people who comment on my videos and they sit there and they say like, hey, your videos might be simple, or you gave me a good laugh and your videos help me through the day. Like that right there makes me happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might just be a kid sitting on a little nightstand table and I'm just jamming out to some music, but that right there could be somebody's happiness, so that right there, I think is the most, the best thing.
Yeah. I kind of had that with, Rhett and Link. I went through some stuff and every day at 7:00, what was there was Good Mythical Morning.
Right.
And it's just like, it's so stupid, but at the same time, it's just like, sometimes, like you said, like a video can just be like, that was funny. I love that.
For sure. Or like something, something you say or you watched in a video, or like someone could say something very inspirational to you or something. Could give you the fire, whether you're fighting depression or whether you went through a bad breakup or, regardless of what it is, that stuff right there, I think is what hits home to me. And I'm like, I'm just some normal kid, like it's insane. So that just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like, how, obviously you're on TikTok, but how can people find out more about you? Like your socials, like what are the things you do on different apps, if any? Like, how do people get to learn more about you, Josh?
So social, really, I mean, really the only thing that I'm on really a lot is just the TikTok. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys are linking it or whatnot, but the TikTok is I am Joshua Johnson. Go check it out. If you like music or whatnot, I have an Instagram. It's Josh C Johnson 23. I post on there every here and again. I used to be really big into Instagram, but I kind of drifted away. But you can find me on there. But mostly it's TikTok. So yep, I am Joshua Johnson. Mostly music. I basically do everything there. So if you guys want to have a good time, come hang out.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
This has been great, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any party thoughts, and stay on post, we'll obviously talk to you there too. But
yeah, you guys got any other questions? I'm down to, what do you guys do for a living?
Yeah, that's a good thing. So for me, I am a digital marketing and IT manager at a local Toyota dealership. So I've been there for about a year. So I joke, if there's anything with a beep or a boop, I handle it, or I find somebody that knows how to. Anything from like taking pictures of car inventory, social media, and like, I'm not gonna say I know like network ports and stuff. Like I know I've learned a lot of this job, but more like the medium IT work. And then if I got calling the big boys, I give them a buzz. So that's what I do. And then RJ, I'll let you fill in you.
I work for a company called Still Shed Fishing Lures. We sell fishing lures. I'm the pretty much shipping manager right now.
Right.
And we just took over our sister company, and we also sell balance boards, the teeter boards.
Yeah.
Voodoo boards they're called. So that's what I do. Literally out of a garage in somebody's house.
Really?
Yeah. It gets pretty cramped in there when we have bulk orders, but
yeah, literally, dude.
It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
That's all that matters. That's the thing. Hey, I used to be a GM for a Jimmy John's for like 8 years. And then I got this job now. So I know all about, people sitting there and, talking down on you and all that kind of stuff. I lived through that my whole entire life. It sucked, but I just, I always told myself like one day, you never know when your life could just change around,
Right.
And
I miss Jimmy John's.
I know it was weird. Somebody at work the other day got it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, having flashbacks."
Oh, I bet. Well, see, out where you are, it's like on kind of like a subway every street corner. Here, the nearest one's like probably an hour and 50 minutes away. And when I would use, like I said, with the craft shows, I went out there and there was always like a Jimmy John's, and it's like puts like a not Starbucks, obviously them too, but a Subway the shame. And I'm like, there's like obviously local delis here that have good sandwiches, but it's always like for a chain. I'm like, I tell people here because it's more of a Midwest thing. Obviously they're national, but there's not as many here. I'm like, you don't understand. These things are so good.
You don't understand. That's awesome. Yeah, I just wish we would toast our sandwiches. That's the only thing I wish.
All right. Yeah, I didn't do the toast game, right?
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm sure it's probably the new job's a little nicer than that. Sorry, Josh. Do you enjoy the new job now versus previous as far as like maybe in your like lifestyle and stuff?
What's up?
Oh, do you enjoy what you do now versus that? I can.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously it's a lot more money, but it's stressful. Still, learning, but it's going good. Yeah, I just got to put in my head where I'm not going to know everything, and with time, it's going to get easier and easier. So,
and a thought I had actually with TikTok for you, just because it's relevant, is don't need to tell the finite details, but since you have a certain amount of followers, are you in the what they call like the creator fund for TikTok?
Yeah, I joined in February, I do believe.
Right, because I feel like you have to have at least 10,000 followers to get in that threshold. I think, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. No, because you hear these things where people blow up on social, and you hear in the interview like, oh yeah, what would it take to get to where you do it full time? Just like us with our network, like we try to be like, okay, what's the moment you like, yeah, let's do that. So I was curious if like that's ever crossed your mind yet, or because I know that the creator fund does a certain amount, but you have to get like a certain X amount of like followers to get there.
Yeah, definitely nowhere near.
Yeah.
I feel like, let's just say I could probably pay one of my bills off. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Hey, that's kind of cool in its own right.
Exactly. So I mean, that would be cool to be a full-time content creator, but like I said, I've been consistently posting for probably about a year now. And, you know, I mean, I don't do it like, it's not like a huge priority of mine. You know what I'm saying? I just do it
Right.
to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. If that were to come about, that would be sweet. But I don't, to be honest, I mean, I know it might sound down on myself, but I don't think I'll ever get to that point, you know, like 1 million followers, you know.
Huh.
But you never know, right?
Right. Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
I never thought that, you know, 140,000 people would be following me, you know. So,
Oh,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yes, I don't want to interrupt you if you have
No,
anything. Okay.
I'm good.
Well, awesome. Well, Josh, it was a
You guys cut out
pleasure.
again, sorry.
Was
Yeah.
that?
I said you guys cut out again.
Oh, gotcha. No, yeah, we'll wrap up the record part here and then we'll talk to you in post. But this was a pleasure, dude. Make sure you follow him on TikTok. We'll have it in the link. We'll have his Instagram as well. Josh, thank you so much for coming on Streaming Cassettes today.
Thank you, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you for having me. I'm down to come back whenever. Just let me know.
Perfect. That
Cool.
sounds great. And as always, if you're watching, you can obviously listen to us, but we got other great shows. Winging It. Our boy Hunter, he just had Shoe Nice on from Tosh.0. That was, yeah, we got him.
What?
It just came out on YouTube. We'll send you the link because he's from upstate New York, and our boy Hunter runs the network. He's like in the Navy and he did foreign military, so he got the link, and we just had a Shoe Nice interview just literally this week.
Wow. I've been listening. I used to watch that guy when I was in like middle school.
Okay, yeah.
Oh my God. That's so cool.
Yeah, dude, it's like a whole hour of like, yeah, greatness. Like they took shots together. Fucking wild.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out.
I'll get the link right now. I have to, because like,
All right. For sure.
and then yeah, it's funny. I guess this morning we were talking about before you came on. Shoe Nice was doing a shout out for that video and saying, everyone watch it. We want it to blow up, blah, blah, blah. And my buddy Hunter was like, yo, where are you? I need you to like go in the live and like thank people. I'm like, I'm getting out of the shower. Like, hang on a second here. It was the funniest thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I gotta find it now, so. But yes, thank you so much, Josh. We'll talk in post here, but Streaming Cassettes, Shoe Nice, Wingman of the Year, all that good shit. Love it. All right. Signing out.